is Kina Knisley with Team Case Guard of Keller Williams, and we are here with Real Talk about real estate. And today I have Lauren Neu from Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and it is kind of close to my heart. That's where I went to college. So go Pete.
Yeah.
Lauren, tell us about what's the market like at Fort Campbell right now?
Yeah, so our market right now in the Clarksville, Fort Campbell area. So what's unique about Fort Campbell is it's technically Fort Campbell, Kentucky, but we see a lot of families end up living on the Tennessee side of it in Clarksville itself. So our market in Clarksville, our average list price is around 383 right now, but a lot of our average sales price and what's closing is around the 346 mark. So a little bit of a range there. But yeah, we've seen a lot more inventory hit our market over the past couple of months and years, things like that, as well as what's really cool is a lot of bigger builders are coming up from Nashville into the Clarksville area.
Whoa, so that's great. So are they paying buyers rep? I know it's always hit and miss on the mainland, whether they're gonna, I know some of them,
Yeah.
L doesn't like to pay agents.
Yeah, I haven't run into any issues with them. Honestly, a lot of them are building their own communities in Clarksville, which is really cool because they're bringing in more features or like amenities to the neighborhood, which has been a really big appeal for a lot of the buyers that I've been helping with.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Now,
Yeah.
you're getting a lot of military, obviously. What
hmm
else brings people to Clarksville?
I would say also like the amount of growth that Clarksville's seen has brought other people that are civilians, not, the typical military family too. But also Nashville is getting so expensive. Not many people can afford to live there anymore. So we're actually getting a lot of Nashville commuters coming and living in Clarksville, commuting down to Nashville every day for work.
Because it's only like what, 45 minutes, depending.
Yeah, depending on what part of Clarksville, but typically anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour if you're really on the other side of Clarksville.
So yeah, so it's not bad. Now, what are you having a lot of soldiers that are keeping their homes now that have that low interest rate so they can rent it out, or are they selling them?
I would say it's kind of a mix of what I'm seeing. Some are taking that money from when they bought earlier, moving it into a new home, doing that upgrade of a new home in Clarksville, or others will, when they do PCS, will put it with property management.
So yeah, I do try to encourage that with soldiers. It's tough on our island with our price points, and plus they use
Yeah.
equipment. But I mean, my daughter has been able to keep all of hers, which is really great for their age, right? But they've
Oh,
got
yeah.
interest rate and refied, and yeah, so there's ways to do it. Now, what about other investors? Is it a good place for other investors to come in and buy up properties to rent out, or?
Definitely. We're seeing a lot of like California investors, stuff like that come to our area just because the price point is a lot lower than some other states are seeing. But also it's just the amount of movement we have, whether that is, military PCS season throughout the year or just our Nashville clients moving up to the area. There's a ton of movement and a lot of needs for rentals.
Yeah. So no, we rented there. I don't remember the street. It's a cute little house. It was close to base. So, and then it's so easy to get. I mean, I remember we would go to Louisville to see baseball games, and it was so,
Oh, yeah.
and there was a cute little water park outside of Hopkinsville up the road. So,
Yeah.
what else is fun to do there?
There's so much. I personally really love being at Fort Campbell and in the Clarksville area because we're so close to Nashville. So you get the best concerts on the planet being in Nashville, Tennessee, but also just so many communities around the Nashville area to explore. So there's tons of restaurants, concerts, events to go to. So I really like that. But a few other local like areas or places you could travel to from here is going to be Chattanooga, Louisville, Memphis. And like we were talking about, Gatlinburg and East Tennessee too, which is a hit.
Yeah, it's a super, you can drive it in half a day and be in the mountains, and it's much cooler,
Yeah.
not as humid. We were talking about the humidity. You do get a little sticky in Fort Campbell.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm a little spoiled. So now,
Yeah.
but yeah, so what else is great about the area? What's a reason to move to Fort Campbell besides being
Yeah, I would Yeah, I would say not only just how affordable the area is here, but we're seeing a ton of growth, whether that's, going to be new jobs coming to the area. We've also got a Raising Cane's, which was a huge hit a few months ago, having one of those come to Clarksville. But really, I feel like even the few years I've been here, about 4 now, there's been so much growth with just businesses coming up from Nashville, more local businesses opening up. Chamber of Commerce here is great and is a great way to connect with other community leaders as well. So I've got kind of a lot of events through them, and just getting connected with the local community is great here.
Yeah. So I just joined our Chamber of Commerce. So how's that? Is that a, have you joined that and seen?
Yeah,
I just need
I have.
vendors for my clients is what I need.
Definitely. That's what I found is like, especially as a business owner, it's great to meet other local business owners, actually getting to interact with them and build a true relationship, but also like getting to go to the ribbon cuttings for new businesses. It's such a great way to stay informed. And what I'm really using my social media platform for is to help people feel like a local before moving to Clarksville. Because I remember getting the orders and being like, I've never been to Fort Campbell. What am I getting myself into? And like, I want to be able to help people feel like a local coming here.
Yeah. I already shared before we turned the camera on that when we got orders for Fort Campbell, 30 years ago, I cried. I bawled and bawled because it was an unknown. And when somebody tells you you're going to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, you're like, sorry, there's a stigma.
Yeah.
It's not what you
I
think,
felt that.
not at all. So
Yeah, no, it was like Kentucky, and I was like, Kentucky? But then I realized a lot of people live in Tennessee.
yeah. And yeah, so that was kind of weird too, because the school system wasn't,
Yeah,
I studied to be a teacher while I was there. And the school system wasn't Kentucky and it wasn't Tennessee because neither one would take it. They're like, nope, we don't want it.
yeah,
We're going to have part of it. So yeah, so that was kind of, and I think it's probably one of the only bases that covers 2 states. It's,
yeah. I think it is. And the funny part too is because I always ask when I first got here, like, why is it Fort Campbell, Kentucky? You literally can drive across the border into Tennessee. Like, why is one over the other? And it's literally just because the mail like place is literally on the Kentucky side. That's the only reason it's Fort Campbell, Kentucky, at least from what I heard.
yeah. So is there a benefit to your clients buying in Kentucky versus buying in Tennessee? Is it more
I would
beneficial to
say,
one?
yeah, it really depends on kind of what they're looking for, but our market here in Clarksville moved a lot faster. We also don't have any state income tax in Tennessee, which is something that, some people really like with choosing Tennessee over Kentucky.
Yeah. Then does that make your property taxes higher? Because I like Florida, the property taxes are high because there's not a state income tax, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, so yeah, I just always wonder. I always wondered how people chose because like Hopkinsville is right there. You kind of
Mm-hmm.
the gate kind of dumps you out in Hopkinsville. I think it kind of bled over. It had made it to Walmart when I was there,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was like
Yeah,
a little stretch
still the
between that
same.
gate and Walmart. Have they filled that
Yeah.
area in? I haven't been back in years, but
It's been a little bit of development in that area, but like technically at base, you get you right out in like the Oak Grove area, which is super small compared to Clarksville. Like you can't even compare the two. It's so different. And then Hopkinsville is a little bit further away, but it's a lot more like country, slower living. It's kind of the vibe there. So some people really want that, and others are just like, man, Clarksville has more opportunity and
I
options.
just love like you could go to the Amish bakery out in the
Mm-hmm.
hills, or the Mennonites would be at Walmart. So it was a very country laid back flavor, but you still had everything you needed. And if you wanted the big city, you could drive to Nashville.
Oh
And
yeah,
I was
100%.
there, you still had the amusement park. You had Opryland
Oh, okay.
park instead of the shopping center that is almost obsolete
Mm-hmm.
because it was
Yep.
I know. I know.
Oh
I
yeah.
haven't recovered from that flood. You probably weren't there. They flooded after they built them all. It flooded. All the piranhas got out from the oceanarium. The
Oh
piranhas
wow.
you could feed the manta rays. Well, they all
Yeah.
them all flooded. But yeah, guess they should have put it in an
Wow.
amusement park. So, but
Probably.
but yeah, no, we do love to go to Nashville. Go to Nashville if you can, because man, it's like free concerts. You walk down the main street.
Yes.
It's called 3 levels, and every level has a great band. They're like up and coming artists, and they are phenomenal. and
Yeah,
cover.
it is.
You just get to go in and they don't even make you buy a beer. You can just sit
Oh,
there.
yeah.
It's yeah. So I know now I wish I was, I guess I at the age I was then, I wasn't thinking that way. Now I'm like, Fort Campbell would kind of be cool.
I love it for that reason because, like, we've gone to CMA Fest, get to see the best concerts. You got the Nashville Predators, they have the Nashville Sound. So it's like always something to do in Nashville, which I really like.
But yeah, you don't have to live in the big.
Yeah, I don't have to deal with that traffic every day.
Yeah. And then there is a college there. That's because I went to college
Mhm.
and I don't know what else they do now, but they had a great education program and I got a job right out of college there. So yeah, I mean, it's great if you're, wanting to further your education. I believe they're on base too, because I think I took classes.
Yes, there's like an expansion of Austin P that's offered on Fort Campbell. So it's, yeah, very nice knit community in that aspect, having the own college, having the military base, and then, your commuters from Nashville too.
Yeah. So no, well, this has been great. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah, thank you.
So if you or anybody you know is PCSing or you're just interested in moving to that area of Tennessee and Kentucky, I can get you connected with Lauren. This is Kina Knisley with Team Case Carter Keller Williams with Real Talk about real estate.